All right, Tommy. So let's get to last weekend's championship games. We saw the NFC Championship, the AFC Championship. Some great games, man. I want to start with the NFC side. The Philadelphia Eagles look real, man. That line of scrimmage on the defense and the offense, those are grown men. Seriously. And we saw that all year, and they put 55 on those Commanders. Man, what did you think about the NFC game?
I'm unfortunately not surprised by the result. I mean, w- w- when you have a young guy with a new kind of upcoming team and they run into a team that's been there and done that before, I mean, that's typically the result you're going to get. A lot of Eagles scored a lot more than I thought they would, but in terms of the Eagles winning that, I'm unfortunately not surprised. I'm not too keen on Philly. But I got to give them credit. They do a fantastic job of building their team. Howie Roseman does a great job of drafting and developing up front, and then filling out the rest.
Is he the
Like that.
goat? Is he the goat right now? Howie
Mm,
Roseman, the
nah, we
best
got to see.
GM in not all time, but right now, like the best GM in the game. Maybe the Kansas City one. What's his name? I forgot.
Kansas City does a great
Brett
job.
Veach. Brett Veach. Yeah.
Yeah, L.A. Rams their GM does a great job. It's hard. It's hard because like you can make all the great moves in the world, and if your team won't go and execute, then like it doesn't really matter. And so it, I'd like to see more Super Bowl wins for me to hand them like best GM. But I mean, Howie Roseman does a great job. I mean, he kills it. Like he's aggressive when he needs to be, but he does a good job of he knows how he wants to build his team, and that's how he addresses it every offseason. So he goes about it the right way for sure. I mean, absolutely, and he does a good job of identifying talent. But the
Yeah.
goat, I don't know. I don't know. I
Zach
mean, it helps to
Bond,
have
man,
Saquon.
like finding Zach Bond and just just a random Saints place, and drafting two starting defensive backs, the trenches, taking a chance on Jalen Carter. Man, Jalen Carter turning out to be a great player. Man, crazy.
Yeah, I mean, Carter Carter fell right into their lap, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend. I think the worst that you can do is sit here and pretend why Jalen Carter fell right into their lap. I mean, we're not gonna dig into it. Everyone, if you know, you know. If you don't, then you can look it up. But like, that's probably the biggest thing. Like, Philly did a good job of taking that risk. Philly could have. The thing about Philly is they could afford to take that risk. I mean, they were picking higher than they should have in that draft. Like, it's just like, okay, like this guy might be the most talented player in this draft. There are questions, a lot of questions. Um, but let's do it. Let's do it. So like they do a good job of capitalizing when they can. Like even the Saquon signing. Like everyone wants to give the Giants a bunch of hate for letting Saquon go, but like I mean, come on. Like the Giants have so many issues. Paying a running back is not something that's going to get help them out. And Philly
Yeah.
was there ready to go because they knew like okay, like we can address this and we'll be fine. Like if we had him, we're gonna put ourselves over the top because because we don't have any other massive significant needs elsewhere. Like we can afford to do this right now. Let's do it because this will enhance our team and make us a more dangerous team. But like for New York, like you signed Saquon and you're probably still in the top five. So it's just entirely situational. And Philly does a great job of just capitalizing at the right times and being aggressive when it's time to be aggressive, but also knowing who they are and how they want to build their team.
Yeah. Man, I also want to talk about Jalen Hurts, man. Jalen Hurts, he kind of sounds like a game manager to me. Like when I see him, watch him, he's like, yeah, he can run around. He makes the right checks. Doesn't turn the ball over right now. So huge props to him. I think he's a really really good quarterback, man. But I think maybe people are giving him more credit than he actually deserves in this offense. I think the offense is carrying him. But still, he gets the job done, man. Great work for Jalen Hurts. I don't know how he's gonna, function after this offensive line because obviously his offensive line, Lane Johnson, is much older than him. Jordan Malata, like he's gonna lose a lot of pieces very soon in the coming years, and I don't know how he's gonna function out over there. But man, Philadelphia, I don't know how they pay their quarterback, their wide receivers. their offensive linemen. They're paying everybody, and I see like people in Seattle saying, "Hey, we can't pay Geno 35 million." That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, Jalen Hurts. I've never been like super high on Jalen Hurts as a prospect. I think there are some weaknesses that he has, and I think Philly does a good job of hiding those weaknesses, kind of helping. And that's the beauty of it. Like if you're a team that can take a quarterback and say, okay, like you have weaknesses, but we're gonna make sure that we can hide those weaknesses. That's how you know they're good. Like the Ravens with Lamar. You can go down a list. Like they just know how to utilize. They play to the quarterback's strengths. And Jalen Hurts does a really good job of going out and executing what's expected. You're right. He doesn't turn the ball over. It helps to have a good run game. I mean, we talked about with Geno, like you have a good run game, it's going to make the quarterback's job a lot easier. And, Jalen Hurts does a good job. He's able to run when needed. Obviously, the tush push is a threat in itself at the goal line. It's even harder to stop now because they have Saquon. So now you have to like they can put a bunch of different wrinkles into that if they really wanted to. And so they have made it really, a really great situation for Jalen Hurts. But Jalen Hurts does have to go out and execute, not turn the ball over. And so it goes hand in hand. It goes hand in hand. Jalen Hurts deserves some credit. I do think that, if you put him in some different situations that he would not be as successful. But he found the spot for him where he can be. And that's the situation, really.
All right, let's talk about the AFC side, man. Patrick freaking Mahomes, man, the third. That dude is a cold stone killer, man. I don't know. I don't know how he does it every year, but he wills this team to win. I mean, I see a lot of people dogging on Mahomes, saying, "Oh, the refs helped him out." This happened. Oh, it was Andy Reid, but man, I see a lot of people giving Patrick Mahomes the Brock Purdy treatment. Man, this guy is a great, great, great quarterback. Man, he is the reason that the Kansas City Chiefs are winning, in my opinion. And it's just crazy, man. I don't think like let's say I'm not saying it's race related. That's not what I'm saying. So please don't get me wrong, but I feel like maybe it's his voice or his personality. He has that Kermit the Frog voice, or maybe it's his personality, the way he kind of how he does that finger thing. When when he's calling people, I don't know what it is, but I feel like if it was another quarterback, maybe let's say Josh Allen. I think people love Josh Allen so much that he if Josh Allen won 3 Super Bowls and he was about to win his fourth Super Bowl. I don't think a lot of people would dog on Josh Allen the way people are dogging on Patrick Mahomes. And I just think people just need to give this man his respect, man. Give this man his flowers. Yeah, it just pissed me off, man. That's the thing. I'm not a Kansas City Chiefs fan, but sometimes you got to recognize greatness, man, and you got to say it's great.
Well, well, I have to say, we are witnessing greatness. We are witnessing greatness. And I have to disagree with you just a little bit, Mo, because I think that people are dogging on his voice, maybe his personal life, because they can't dog on anything on the football field. Because he does everything so well on the football field. What are they going to say? What are they going to say?
Exactly.
You
Exactly.
know, and you have haters because you're doing something well. That's the truth about it. You don't see anybody who's super successful hating. You don't.
Yeah.
You don't.
No. No.
And
No.
so it's because he is having this level of success and completely taking over the league. He's taking happiness away from other fan bases because they continue to win, and so people are mad about it. You know what? It's tough. I'm happy. I am so thankful the Seahawks are not in the AFC because I would be as frustrated because they are inevitable. The Chiefs are inevitable, man. They will be there. They will be there every single year. It's what they do. They have a winning culture. They've got a great quarterback. They've got a great roster, and they know how to win. It's a winning culture. They find different ways to win. Oh, they beat the Raiders by 2. They won. They won the game. And it's like in the NFL, winning's not easy. Everyone in the NFL is so damn good.
Yeah.
Like it's so that's why they go at them. There's nothing else you can say on the football field. Like
Yeah.
and so yeah, the Chiefs. That's just who they are. We're witnessing greatness. Let's appreciate it. Let's appreciate it because When we're old and we've got grandchildren, there's going to be some up and coming quarterback. They're going to be telling us is the GOAT. And I'm telling you, we're going to be sitting there defending Pat Mahomes. Like, oh, you didn't see Pat Mahomes
Yeah.
play. You didn't see him play. Like, he's the GOAT. Like, you didn't see Tom Brady play. He's the GOAT. We're going to be defending him someday. I promise. And I think people are just, they love to hate. They love to hate, but we're witnessing greatness. And
Yeah.
this is the era. This is the Chiefs era. It won't be forever. Like, just stay patient. Like, just watch greatness now. I mean, time is unforgiving. Like they eventually it will come to an end, and the next big thing will be coming up. Maybe we'll get some parity in the league. I don't know, but people just love to hate. People just love to hate. But Pat Mahomes is on pace to be the greatest football player of our lifetimes, and so. That's what we're gonna witness, and I personally appreciate it a little bit. I get to watch this and live through this and be an avid football fan in this era. That's how I see
Yeah.
it.
If you watch this man play, man, and everybody watches this man play, the poise in the most anxious situations, the most anxiety situations, the end of the game, the guy, the way he's controlled, even plays a high level with a high ankle sprain, man. Check that out. When he beat the Eagles in 2022, high ankle sprain, got through the AFC Championship, clutch moments, the Super Bowl. He won with his legs, even if he was hurt. The guy just carries and inspires his team, man. Put some respect on Patrick Mahomes' name. Let's talk about the other side. Josh
Wait,
Allen.
hold up. Actually, I just want to say one more thing.
Yep.
Love him or hate him, you can feel however you want about Pat Mahomes. You're sitting down and watching him.
Yeah.
That's his
Exactly.
greatness. That's his
Exactly.
greatness right there. Love him or hate him, you're sitting down and watching, and that's how you know how great a player is.
Yep. Yep. All right. Let's talk about the other side. Let's talk about Josh Allen. Man, I do agree. Patrick Mahomes has a better coach. A lot of people tell me, yeah, he has a better coach. I do agree. Andy Reid is a great coach. But at the end of the day, as a player, you got to execute plays. And I don't know if you saw um, the outlet Joe Brady built in for Josh Allen in case there was a blitz. You had, I think so, was it Khalil Shakir who kind
Yeah,
of like
it's Khalil
ran a
Shakir.
circle. Yeah, ran a
Yep,
circle and
yep,
he went to the other side. And Josh Allen was supposed to dump that, and if he dumped it, he would have like a free. Nobody was there until the end zone, right? It was wide open. So I think at the end of the day, these players got to execute plays. But I do agree. Yeah, Andy Reid's the goat. Bill Belichick is now for now, but I think, and when it's said and done, Andy Reid's gonna win more titles and he's gonna be considered the goat. But yeah, Josh Allen had an opportunity to beat Patrick Mahomes, and the thing is, he did not. So Tommy, what do you think is in the future for the Buffalo Bills?
Well, first I want to defend Josh out a little bit on that little outlet route, Khalil Shakir. I mean, you got to think about the human nature of it. It is fourth and medium. Why on and they ran and you know what? Steve Spagnuolo ran a great corner blitz at the perfect time. Like he was rushed. Nobody saw that coming. They didn't run that all game. It's a hard read, right? You are with under pressure like that. You are not looking for your first read to be in the backfield on fourth and medium. It's not. That's not ever going to be your first read. So I don't know why anyone's like, "Oh, he should have thrown." No, no. Your first read on fourth and medium is not in the backfield. And I'm
Hmm.
sorry he got hurried up on a great defensive
This is
play
the last
call.
the last read.
Exactly. That's your safety valve. That is your safety valve, not your first read. So people got to move on from that. That was never going to be like okay, like it was a well timed play. Maybe if the Chiefs didn't dial up a blitz, it's there and they go. But like Spagnuolo's a good DC. He's been there, done that. He's aggressive. I love his aggressiveness, and that's why. I mean, it was a beautifully timed corner blitz, and that's about it, you know. And so with the Bills, though, where do they go from here? Well, as long as you have Josh Allen, the window's open. You know, as long as you have Josh Allen, the window's open. So, I mean, Josh is a great quarterback. Can do so much. He does so much for Buffalo. I think your next step, if you're Buffalo, is just to help him out. Get him as much help around him as you can. I mean, the Chiefs. Look at the Chiefs. They've got Kelsey at tight end. They've used an early pick on Rasheed Rice. They used an early pick on Worthy. I mean, they've made good free agent signings that fit them. and that's what works. So you've got to find those guys if you're Buffalo. Make it work. Help Josh Allen out. Get guys that are going to make his life easier, and let all the dominoes fall as they may. Winning a Super Bowl is really hard. You got to get a little lucky, and so that's also part of it. You just got to get a little lucky in the postseason, and they haven't had it yet because they've had to face the Chiefs.
What do you think about Sean McDermott though, man? Because every time I look at him in the sideline, he has this blank, stare all the time. Like I don't like. He looks like he's very scared. The guy looks like he's constipated. He was like he looks like straight face like that. And I don't know, man. I think he can't get the Buffalo Bills over the hump, man. I think they need a new coach. Even though he's gotten them to the AFC Championship twice, but I think they need something new. I
Uh,
think they need something new over there.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, we're talking about a guy that has been to multiple AFC championship games. They've had playoff success. I don't know. My question is like, where would you find a better coach than, And it's not like he's getting killed in the postseason like Dallas. And I don't think Dallas should have fired Mike McCarthy. I mean, you're playing the Chiefs. They're inevitable. Like they are doing this. Like not all these coaches were getting fired when the Patriots were
Pete
going on
Carroll.
this run. It's
Pete
just because
Carroll. Pete Carroll. They should have hired
uh
Pete Carroll.
oh gosh, no, they shouldn't have. Um, but yeah, I mean they're just facing greatness. They're facing greatness, and they're right there. They're a couple plays away from getting it done. Right? If you're just a couple plays away from getting to the Super Bowl, you don't need to panic. The worst thing you can do is panic. You're right there. You're right there. Just fill it in as it needs to be filled in on that roster and go get back at it. Like it's tough because it is so, magnified because it's a massive game, but like they're there. They're there. They beat the Ravens to get there, like nobody's talking about firing Harbaugh. The Raven, so the Ravens haven't even made it to the AFC Championship yet. So they're right there. Don't panic. Just make the right moves. Help your guy Josh out and get right back to it because they're right there.